The Jared Goff disrespect is getting out of hand. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Jared Goff, how good is he, what he brings to the table, and what his future looks like. Now, as many of you already know, I am a Lions fan, so I'll be trying to keep all opinions and my bias out of this video when I'm ranking Jared Goff, just so I can give him a fair the pack. Jared Goff is the #1 QB in the NFL. What the hell was that? Anyway, what I was saying was I'm just leaving all bias and like my opinions out when I'm ranking Jared Goff. Like I'm not gonna rank him best QB in the NFL just because I'm a Lions fan. That's what I'm saying. Now the NFL website released this article about a month ago, and they have Jared Goff ranked 8th in the league for quarterback, which honestly I can live with. I honestly think that Jared Goff is higher than 8th. I think he's at least 6th in the league, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I just want to say that with the amount of disrespect the Lions get from the NFL and the NFL community, 8th is pretty good for an NFL released article for Goff. So what I'm saying is Mark Sessler probably isn't a cheesehead. Now this article released by Pro Football Network has Jared Goff ranked 22nd in the league for quarterbacks, which is, I'm speechless. This man's put Jacoby Brissett above Jared Goff. Now when you look up QB power rankings, this is like one of the first articles that come up, so I'm going to talk about it like for a little bit, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because the whole list is just dumb. I mean, just putting Jacoby Brissett above Jared Goff. Do you even watch the NFL? And then he's like Dak Prescott in the top 10. So you can just tell this man's is just, I don't even know. And #1, they have Patrick Mahomes. I totally agree with this. I like this. He's #1 for sure. #2, we got Jalen Hurts, which I also like at #2. I feel like a lot of people want to put Josh Allen at #2. They're like, oh, best quarterbacks in the league. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I think it's a little bit overrated, especially in the postseason. Maybe overrated isn't the best term, but he's not as good as I feel like as people think. This year we saw him make a ton of bad decisions in the red zone, throwing interceptions, as he had like 2 against the Jets, the one with the Vikings in overtime. He had 1 against the Bengals late in the 4th quarter. I mean, I know the game was over, but still, he seems just to go hero ball a lot. Now #3, they got Joe Burrow, and at 4 they have Josh Allen. Now honestly, I could see 3 and 4. I can see these go either way. 3, Joe Burrow, 4, Allen, or Allen, then Burrow. I honestly don't care. I think right now it'd be easier to say Joe Burrow because they destroyed the Bills in the playoffs, and Joe Burrow's younger and he's been to the Super Bowl. So, but I would understand the argument putting Allen at 3 instead of Burrow because of his rushing abilities. At #5, they have Justin Herbert. Now, this is where I start to disagree with the rankings. I think that Goff arguably is better than Justin Herbert. And then for #6, Trevor Lawrence, I think Goff is definitely better than Trevor Lawrence. And lastly, at #7, Tua Tagovailoa, I think Goff is definitely better than Tua. Now here, Goff ranks 8th for power rankings in the quarterback position. Now I'm going to make the argument that he should be 5th in the league. Now I don't think he's better than Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then Joe Burrow, and then Josh Allen, but there he sits at 5th. I think he's definitely better than Lawrence, definitely better than Herbert, and definitely better than Tua. First off, Goff ended the season with an insane stat, 324 consecutive passes without an interception, and it's still going, and this record ranks for 5th in the NFL. Throughout the last 9 games of the regular season, Goff had a 67% completion rate, which is pretty good, had a 15-0 touchdown to interception ratio, which is unheard of, had a 105.9 average passer rating, which is also crazy, and only took 10 sacks, less than 1 per game. Now, the offensive line for the Lions is extremely good, but only 10 sacks is also the quarterback. I mean, he reads pressures well. He gets rid of the ball early, on time. Now back to ProFootballNetwork.com's amazing rankings. They say Jared Goff's not accurate. For sure he's not accurate. He only threw 0 interceptions in his last 9 games, 15 touchdowns, had a 67% completion rate, and a 105 passer rating. Yeah, but he's not accurate. Just watch Goff go through all of his reads here on Thanksgiving and find DJ Chark in the back of the end zone with a perfect pass in the air. I mean, that's just crazy. Another thing for Goff is that he led the 5th highest scoring offense in the NFL this season. Goff also ranked 6th in total passing yards this season, 5th in total touchdowns, and had only 6 interceptions, the same amount as Jalen Hurts. And lastly, Jared Goff ranked 5th in the league for QBR. Now, that's including the Lions' first 7 games where they started the season 1-6. They have the youngest team in the NFL, so of course it's going to be a rough start. They still have to build together, learn how to play with each other. So I think if you take the final 9 games of the season, Goff ranks 2nd in QBR, only behind Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you watch Jared Goff at all in the final 9 games of the season, if you're not a Lions fan, he he was unbelievable. Every time he dropped back, he was always finding the open man. He was always going through his progressions, always accurate balls. I mean, obviously no interceptions. He was never throwing it to the other team besides on Thanksgiving when he did the 360 spin. We won't talk about that though. That was a heart attack in itself for me. So Goff with the deep ball is just something else. He has a cannon on him and he's mad accurate when going deep. I didn't see many overthrows on wide open guys down the field. Usually you'll see, like, Josh Allen had a lot of them this year, where especially in the playoffs against the Bengals, where Diggs was open down the field and he wasn't able to find them. And Goff was extremely accurate down the field, never missing an open target. Now, the play that's up right now, I think it's extremely overlooked. This play is actually crazy. Goff rolls out to his left. He has to turn or fully turn his body around to make this throw. Launches it deep and accurate to Calif Raymond, who makes also just an insane catch from Calif Raymond at the 1 yard line. But for Goff to roll out to his left and center himself and make a deep pass to the other side of the field, back way to his right, accurate and that deep, it's crazy. Goff here is throwing this ball 50 yards accurate in the air across his body, which is unbelievable. Now it's in slow motion, which I feel like takes away from it a little bit, as it looks a lot easier as this is happening. Think about that in real time, which is, and you can also just go look up the highlights, or if you watched the game you saw this. Unbelievable throw from Goff. And the Lions still have Goff for 2 more years for the 2023 season and the 2024 season, so I can't wait to watch Goff continue to play, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to play at the level he's playing at. The Lions will most likely re-sign him. He seems like he could be the face of the franchise for years to come. He's crazy good. I think he likes Detroit. The team has great chemistry with and around him. And also for the level that Goff is playing at, he's playing like a star quarterback, like at levels of Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, and he's not making anywhere near the money they are. So the Lions have a pretty good money situation going on here. Goff is also pretty young. He's only 28 years old. Think like Matthew Stafford's 34, gonna be 35, 6-7 years older than Goff. Goff could play. He still has years to play. Now, a lot of Lions fans were questionable of Goff, including me, when he came to Detroit, as like, oh, he's just a bum, he's not gonna be very good. Now, I didn't think that, but a lot of people, he had a lot of haters. A lot of Detroit fans hated on Goff. Now Goff, I feel like sometimes would make a silly play, and last year was terrible, and the Lions started 1-6 terrible, but I always had to remember, the team was the youngest team in the NFL. It's a rebuild. That's what this all is about. And I always thought to myself, anytime I would question Goff, or anytime I made a silly play, or he had some bad interceptions at the beginning of the season, I would always think, I would rather have Goff as my quarterback than Kenny Pickett's or Daniel Jones or any of these other quarterbacks. Like, when you compare him to all the other quarterbacks in the league, I always felt like Goff was way better, as he's been to the playoffs, he's been to the Super Bowl, he's played with the Rams for 5 or 6 years. He's established, he's confident in himself, and he's a solid quarterback. Also, back to the season QBR ratings, Jared Goff this season had a higher QBR than Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. Like, I know that saying that he was 5th is one thing, but saying who he's above just puts it in perspective for you. Now that I've said all this, do you really think that Jared Goff isn't as good as Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence? I mean, Tua Tagovailoa had a decent season. Sure, he puts up great numbers, but that's because he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. And even with those insane weapons, Tua didn't play that well. He missed a lot of balls. Like, I remember the game against the Chargers, I believe it was a Sunday night game. Tua just could not find anyone. He couldn't find Hill, he couldn't find Waddle, just missing a lot of throws. I feel like he really didn't perform as well as people think he did, and without Waddle and Hill, what is Tua? And then to Trevor Lawrence, the Jags had a terrible start to the season. Now, I know the Lions did too, but I feel like the Jags bounce back wasn't near as strong as the Lions. And also, we can't forget when Trevor Lawrence came to Detroit and got a huge ass whooping. The Lions defense was all over Trevor Lawrence. The Lions defense, I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is anywhere near Goff's level. Especially, you saw Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. I know that 2 of those interceptions I think shouldn't have been called, but the other 2 were terrible interceptions. And lastly, Justin Herbert, I just don't think any of these 3 quarterbacks are as good as Goff. You saw the level that Goff was playing at the end of the season. None of these quarterbacks achieved anywhere near that level at all this season. I guess if you disagree with me, look at it this way. If you had one quarterback out of Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, and Goff to take you through the regular season, hopefully make the playoffs, and then take you to the Super Bowl, what quarterback would you pick? I'd be picking Goff all day. That's not even, it wouldn't be even a choice for me. Like, I'd pick Goff 10 times out of 10. I would not want nowhere near any of the other 3. It's not even a decision. Now, I probably shouldn't, I should just get off the internet. I shouldn't even be on Reddit, but the NFL talk on Reddit is pretty entertaining, and it's not as good as like Instagram and other places, but the Goff hate is just everywhere. And this post is the biggest one. It has like a few hundred upvotes, and it's unbelievable. He ranks Goff 4 out of 10. What the hell? A 4 out of 10 QB, and he's like, yeah, he's pretty good. He shows that the Lions want him under center, but he has 4 out of 10. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand. He also ranked like offensive tackles. He goes, Taylor and Decker and Penei Sewell are one of the best pairs of offensive tackles in the league, but ranks him 3 out of 10. Well, if they're the best in the league, would they not be higher than 3 out of 10? And he ranks the Lions wide receivers 3 out of 10, which is unbelievable. The guards 7 out of 10, which is okay. But then he ranks the center Evan Brown 5 out of 10. So it's a pretty unbelievable ranking from this guy. I just went back to read more comments to make sure that I did, like, maybe that the higher rankings is 1 out of 10, so 4 out of 10 would be like 6 out of 10. But I was wrong. I don't understand. In all the comments, there's like someone's like QB's at least a 6 out of 10, Goff's at least a 6, but it has like 20 dislikes. Anyway, I should just get off Reddit. I should definitely just be off the internet, especially Reddit, forever. But just the Goff hate's crazy. People, it's the Lions hate also just crazy. It's just hell. You know, Detroit versus everyone. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Actually, it's kind of funny. Anyway, Detroit versus everyone. Goff is a top 5 QB in the league. I think he potentially could be better than Josh Allen next season. Josh Allen showed that he was a little rough around the edges, so we will see. I'm excited for next season. Can't wait to watch Goff play. Goff's a top 5 QB. One pride. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And once again, thanks for watching.